Hi traders, thanks for stopping by thetradinganalyst.com. This is Taylor, and we're going to take a look at a bunch of charts here, and I'm going to go over my analysis and thought process. And the idea here is for you to come away from this video with some extra knowledge on technical analysis, as well as some profitable trade ideas here on these individual names that we're going to be looking at. But first, if you're not already a member, go ahead and visit us on the home page and get to know us a little bit better. Once you sign up for the membership, you're going to be able to take part in the professional chat room, the daily watch lists, the real-time profitable trade alerts, which are not only given in the live chat room, but also via text message and email for those of you that have full-time or part-time jobs, or maybe just don't want to be in front of the computer all day long. You're not going to miss a market move. You're also going to get the exclusive member videos, the webinars, and an education from mentors like myself who truly care about your success in the market. It's a great opportunity. We'd love to have you. All right, so let's get into these charts here. The first one we're going to take a look at is Apple. And as you can see, Apple hit our target here. We were long from down here. Members took profits right here at 118 on this day right here, and we've been enjoying that profit nicely since because of how low we've gone since then. So that was a very nice sell for us and our members, and actually for you all if you've been following along on these videos the whole time. So since that has hit our target, we have liked Apple for a short, and as you can see, that's working out nicely, so congrats if you have gotten in on that trade. Now let's look at where Apple is currently and where it's headed. So Apple closed below the open and the close of the previous 2 days. So looking like it may not want to retest higher before heading lower. So looks like eventually Apple's going to be headed down to this 109, 110 area at least, okay? This 110, 109 area is key because we've got this uptrend line right here. There's a touch, and that lines up perfectly with these previous highs right here. You can see that this was definitely a level, lots of touches right here on those days, and we haven't yet tested those levels just yet. We broke over it here, and then we didn't even care to retest it lower here. So coming down on the first retest likely gets a short-term bounce at the very least at that 110 area. But in the very near term, it looks like Apple is going to be headed lower. So depending on which level gets hit first, whether it's this 118 or this 110 level, if we hit 118 first, that's going to be a great shorting opportunity up here. We'll fill this gap, and then, we'll fill this gap of this day right there, and then we'll come down and retest this trend line. So right here, kind of in no man's land as far as new positions are concerned. If you're short Apple, I think this is a great place to be in, and I think you should just keep holding on to it. Long Apple, trail those stops, and keep them tight, because more than likely Apple's going to be headed lower here in the short term. The next one we're going to take a look at is Netflix. And Netflix, you can see, has ran into these previous highs up here. Okay, so very bullish breakout here on earnings, but you got to see a long ways to go, and a lot of energy was already expended on the way up to that level. So I think that Netflix needs to take a little rest here, and that we'll see some downside on Netflix. I don't really have any downside targets, but I do think that if Netflix consolidates lower, for some reason, if it consolidates lower all the way down to these previous highs, about 112, you can see that it was a previous high here, and you can see that we also have some pretty decent support between 110 and about 105 from this trend line here. So anywhere between these areas is going to be a good area to cover some shorts if you're in them, and also to possibly get in on some long trades for a bounce here, because overall this chart looks pretty decent here for some consolidation lower and then a bounce once we get those lower prices. But here the main thing you want to focus on is these reversal candles here. You can see the longer tail here, here, there, red candle, another upper wick right there. So you want to look for the lows of last week to break, and I'll just go ahead and I'll draw a little box for you right here. So right there, that's what you want to play right there, and those lows are right around 125.75. So if 125.75 gets broken on a closing basis, we're going to be heading lower here on Netflix, and that's what you want to look for. On the upside, you want to look for a break over the highs of last week. So the highs of last week are 129.30. So 129.30, if we get a close, a daily close over those levels, then we can head higher here. And if we head higher here, just realize we have a little bit of resistance just above us at about 132, 133 from these previous highs, all-time highs over here in the end of 2015. The next one we're going to take a look at is Twitter. And Twitter, as you can see, we had the earnings announcement. Nothing really happened here after that earnings announcement. And you can see that we're kind of forming a little bit of a bear flag here. And I'll go ahead and I'll draw this for you right there. So you want to see if you're short or looking to get short on Twitter, you want to see a break of that little trend line here and a break back below the 200-day moving average in order to see lower prices here on Twitter. There's not much support until about this gap fill right there on this day, which is about 1580, and then the major support is down here near $14. If we head down to $14, this is definitely a buy zone here for Twitter. You can see how many times we've tested this area successfully. I mean, this is about 10 days right here where we touch that level all in a row. Here, another test, and we haven't tested it since. So it looks like Twitter is likely going to head down there. If it doesn't, on the upside, if we get a close above $18, let's see what this level is. The close of this day is 18.10, so I'm going to raise that just a little bit here. So if we get a close over about 18.15, which would be over these highs, the close of this candle, these highs, that's definitely a good level to play long. So look for that or a break below this trend line here, and you should have a very nice either a long trade over 18.14 or a short trade under that trend line. The next one we're going to take a look at is Amazon. In Amazon, you can see we broke this support, and we are coming into this support right here about 755. Definitely looks like 755 is going to get tested this week, and that's what you want to look for. So between 755 and 728 is going to be a good support zone for Amazon. You can see this was previous resistance, this 728 right here, resistance, and then we got a successful test of it here and there. And then if we move up to the 755 area, you can see that it was resistance right here, and then we tested it successfully several times here, and several times here as well. So we can look for short-term bounces off of those levels here, but more than likely it's looking like Amazon is going to be coming down here in the near term, and those are the levels that you want to be aware of here for Amazon. The next one we're going to take a look at is Google. And Google had a mixed reaction here, pretty much a mute reaction here from earnings. Earnings was announced after hours on Thursday, and we pretty much closed break even from the day before. The close before was 817.35, and as you can see, The close from Friday was 819.56, so that's a $2 close right here, which is a very, very small change in price. We can pretty much ignore all this action. All that matters is where it closed. So on the upside for Google bulls, you want to see this 815 level hold for Google. You can see that it was resistance here, here, almost there, right here, there, several days here, and then we broke over it right here and have retested it several times here in the recent past. So bulls, you want to see this level hold. Bears, you want to see 815 break, as well as this trend line breaks. If this trend line breaks, we're going to head down to 787, which is the nearest support. You can see 787 is a key level here, several tests right there, several tests right here as well. So be aware of these two levels here on on Google, and you should do just fine. The next one we're going to take a look at is Priceline. Priceline trading in a box here between about 1479, about 1480, let's just call it for making a nice round number, and then between about 1460. So we've got about a $20 box right here for Priceline. And we can expect, if we get a close outside of this box, either on the upside or the downside, that we're going to see a $20 move. So if we break over 1480, we're going to come up here and retest these highs at about 1500, which makes sense because these are previous touches right here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 days right here which tested that level. There's definitely some resistance right there. And then you can see if it breaks 1460, we're going to head down to 1440, and that would fill this gap right here. You can see we closed this day right here at 1437, and the next day gapped up all the way up here to about 1450. So we've got about a $12, $13 gap right here that needs to fill on Priceline. So you can just play either side of the break of that box, and you should do pretty nicely there on Priceline. The next one we're going to take a look at is Chipotle. Chipotle had some pretty negative reactions to earnings, and you can see that we broke a pretty key level here. We've got a test almost there at this 388, several tests right here, test here, couple tests here, almost a test here, a test right there, and then we broke below that here. These are new 52-week lows here for Chipotle, so not exactly going great for this stock. So now 388, 390 is going to be resistance for Chipotle, and more than likely it's going to be heading lower here. It may not be overnight. We may want to retest. It looks like it's consolidating here a little bit, and like we can see some upside in the near term, but this is definitely going to be some near-term resistance up at that 388, and you definitely need to be aware of where Chipotle is on the big time frames. Thanks for stopping by and watching the video. Again, if you're not already a member, visit us on the home page, get to know us a little bit better. Again, if you're not already a member, if you like the free videos and the free analysis we give to you on a daily basis, it's nothing compared to the membership at thetradinganalyst.com. And the best part is, when you sign up, you're immediately going to get access to the profitable trade alerts, which our members get on a regular basis. It's a great opportunity, and we'd love to have you.